Hi guys, Joanne Falls, co-founder of the Florida International Group at MVP Realty and also of the FIG-U commercial courses for residential agents. Our goal is to help you take your residential services to the next level by learning some of the techniques that we use regularly in commercial real estate transactions. Today, I'm going to start with short-term rentals and more particularly vacation rentals. How do you help your investors who want to purchase or sell a vacation rental property in providing services that really will take the assistance to the next level and show that you understand the mindset of the investor that you are working with? So the first way is to analyze the location and also the competition. Now, as a good residential real estate agent, you're already aware and you regularly will perform a comparative market analysis on the property, comparing recent sales, looking at the market and data from the residential real estate market. Classic starting point for any good agent. You may also look at, Airbnb and stats on Airbnb and look at, similar properties and the nightly rates. And even maybe you subscribe to AirDNA, which would allow you to get data on similar short-term rental vacation properties and on the vacation rental market itself that you would then provide to your investor, always citing the source of your data. Where we as commercial agents would go one step further is to always look at the hotel market situation. So we would take the starting point of the type of short-term rental property that the investor is interested in based on their ideal budget. From there, we'd be looking at, okay, if it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, I'm going to start looking at the boutique hotels, medium-sized hotels. I'm going to be pulling statistics and data from our commercial software and providing that to my investor, again, always citing the source of that data. And we're also going to be looking at the design of the hotel. We're going to look at the occupancy rates, the fluctuations in the pricing. Hotels tend to use software that enables them to fluctuate their pricing really on a daily basis. And there are softwares coming out now to help short-term rental investors of vacation rentals do the same thing. So oftentimes you'll find that a hotel is going to be one of the main competitors to short-term rentals. But if you don't have access to that commercial software and knowledge, you wouldn't know how to pull the data or even what to do with it or how to read it once you've pulled it. Then that will enable your investor to start building a picture of the renovations potentially that need to happen within that property to bring it up to par with some of the competitors. What to then calculate potentially what expenses he would have before he can begin renting it out, and also, what is the timeline attached to that. All of those factors need to be looked at prior to then move on to the second point, which is calculating potential return on investment. And you're not necessarily going to calculate that for your investor because, that really is their domain to calculate that. And you want to obviously reduce your liability as an agent. But what you can do is provide data from the commercial real estate arena to your investor. And one of the things that it often happens in commercial real estate is that we will calculate a potential return on investment, and we will use different kinds of metrics. So again, you're assisting your investor in learning how to calculate the metrics and providing templates of spreadsheets that make it easier for your investor to calculate that. Now, you can also calculate that yourself, but to reduce liability, we're talking about providing tools to your clients for them to use themselves. So cash flow is very important to an investor. Cash flow is, in its basic terms, how much money can I make versus the expenses that I'm going to have on that property. The setup expenses and also the monthly regular expenses on that property. And in terms of cash flow, you're going to want to calculate debt service coverage, which is, is it feasible that the property is going to make enough to cover what I have on that mortgage? And the mortgage, particularly for the higher end vacation rentals, could be a commercial loan. We've worked with many investors who have purchased the higher end residential real estate, and they've used a commercial loan in order to do that. Especially if they already have a relationship with a commercial lender that they've, built up over time. So how is that different? Well, a commercial loan and a commercial lender looks at not only the value of the brick and mortar real estate in comparison to the comparables, but an appraiser and a commercial bank would also be looking at that property as a business venture. And they would be expecting it to generate cash flow in order to continue lending on that property. So that's an important point to know as a residential agent, that if you have an investor in front of you who is intending to use a commercial loan to purchase that property, it's even more crucial that they've done all of these calculations to make sure that when the commercial lender is looking at their books annually, that property is continuing to perform. That will be high on the priority list of your client. So cash on cash return is also an important metric. Cash on cash return is basically the calculation of how much cash your investor is going to have to bring to the table to put that deal together versus the financing that he is intending to leverage. And we explain in our courses in detail how to calculate that metric. And the last metric is cap rate or capitalization rate. Many investors will use cap rate in order to compare two completely different investment opportunities. And cap rate is your net operating income divided by the purchase price. That gives you that percentage. Now, obviously, when they're wanting to submit an offer, the purchase price that they are intending to submit the offer at, it has to make sense in terms of the cap rate. So I often see residential agents who are encouraging their investors to submit an offer at a certain price, but in the investor's mind, it doesn't make sense because they have, a potential cap rate based on the commercial market that they have in mind. So it just helps a residential agent get more into the mindset of a commercial agent and be able to relate to them more on an equal footing. So that sums up today the main points. If you would like to delve more into how to help investors as a residential agent and you're interested in our commercial course that provides all of these tools to you, head to thefigu.com and you can sign up for our course. And included in that is a weekly Ask Fig You Zoom call where we're available to answer any and help you with any questions that you may have along the way. Guys, have a great day and chat soon. Thanks. Bye.